San Diego Comic-Con 2025 has come and gone, man, and we are officially looking at all of the images that I really did not get to see until I got back home. As you know, we were out there, man. If you missed any of our San Diego Comic-Con live coverage, you definitely need to go check that out on the channel. There's plenty of videos, vlogs, all kinds of fun stuff, man. Had a blast out there, but now it is time to return home and get into these images and break them down one by one and dive into them, man, and give you my thoughts and opinions on what I saw in person, some things I learned in person, and kind of break down these Ultimate Editions here today. And we'll probably do another video breaking down the Elites. We're going to break down every single figure that we saw, and it can just be one of those big long news videos that we're going to get into today, man. But today we're getting into the WWE Ultimate Edition figures that were revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, and we're not going to be breaking down any of the stuff we already knew about, right? Like the WrestleMania 40 Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes 2-pack or anything like that we've already seen at nauseum. The Ultimate Edition Series 27 featuring CM Punk, Logan Paul, Bayley. Those figures should be shipping out relatively soon, so I'm not going to be covering those or talking about those. I'm going to be talking about figures that have been updated. We saw, in person there at Comic-Con. So let's dive into it, man. We're going to get into every single Ultimate Edition and breaking them all down for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start things off, man, with one of the guys that was on the panel. And this was really fun to get to see, not only the talent in person, but just to see him observe the figures. We saw this in the vlog, man, but Jacob Fatu is finally getting an Ultimate Edition, and he is going to be coming with the SmackDown Ultimate Edition ring. Now, I can't remember. I think this is just going to be ringside exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, so you can go over there. I think it's actually up for pre-order right now. If it's not, I do apologize, but you can go over there and check. But the Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu figure is what we're looking at right here, man. And, I knew it. I knew that it would be somebody really sought after. And the first day of the con, we didn't see the Jacob on display. It was, revealed to us at the panel when Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso, CM Punk all showed up there. And so we didn't know, and I spent the whole night trying to think about it, and it hit me in the middle of the night like a bad dream. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what, man, I bet it's going to be Jacob Fatu that's coming with this SmackDown ring. And sure enough, man, there he is. We saw this similar last year with the Rhea Ripley Ultimate Edition that came with the Raw ring, and sure enough, there it is, man. Jacob Fatu is coming with the SmackDown ring. Now let's look at the figure. It's one thing to be coming with the ring and having to get an Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu. This is the only way you can do so. But looking at the figure itself, I like some aspects of the figure, and I don't like aspects of the figure. Now, we're still seeing the smaller shoulders and arms that we saw on his Elite 118 figure, but I will say I was skeptical of the Elite 118, but then when I got it in hand, it was a lot better than I previously had thought. So that is one thing about it. I like these head sculpts. I like kind of the pissed off, the yelling. I'm glad that we are getting these head sculpts here for Jacob Fatu. The torso, I feel like it looks a bit long in the upper chest. It's a bit weird, and it is giving us these skinny arms and shoulders. And then the crotch piece that they're using kind of makes his lower half look a bit weird, and I don't think this is the same crotch piece we saw with his Elite 118. This kind of has like a diaper looking look, and it makes it where his legs are a little wide, and I don't know, that's kind of bothersome. But the good thing to report is the boots are not the giant Cody Rhodes boots. They're actually the Ultimate Edition version, so they're looking a lot better than those Elite boots. But I don't know, it's definitely not my favorite aesthetic figure, but again, I was not a big fan of his Elite until I got it in hand, so maybe this could be one of those cases. I don't have the highest hopes. I'm still going to purchase this so we can review it, and also just to mention the ring, it is an Ultimate Edition ring. I like the way the ring looks, but I've always been a bigger fan of the SmackDown ring over the Raw ring, and not just because of the light blue, matte there or whatever. I think that just the blue, I'm a big fan of blue and white. It's, two of my favorite colors there, so it just really pops off, and I like it better than the red personally, and I do like that about it. But the figure, I think it remains to be seen. It's not my favorite, but, you put the shirt on there. There's some different fix-ups we can play around with, but I'm excited to have Jacob Fatu in Ultimate Edition form. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I think we got to wait till we get it in hand, and that could remain for some other figures. But let's get into a figure I'm really excited about. We're getting into the Greatest Hits AJ Styles Ultimate Edition. Now, this is something we reported on before Comic-Con, and it turned out to be true. It is the AJ Styles Greatest Hits Ultimate Edition. This was something that we were excited for, but they kind of blew me away with the attire. I think that this looks really, really good, getting a blue attire here. Last time we saw AJ Styles in Ultimate Edition form, he was in the white and blue, which was also a great figure. They gave him a better formula than he had previously had, and I thought that figure was really damn good, except I thought that his legs were a little too large, and they gave him the lighter skin tone for whatever reason. Hopefully with this figure, they'll revert back to his old skin tone, and it looks like the formula looks a bit better here. It looks like the legs are a little bit shorter, so he shouldn't be too tall like his last Ultimate. I love the sculpted gloves, and not to mention the damn mask with the swords, man. That mask is absolutely beautiful. That is something that, again, just for whatever reason, it feels nostalgic for me, and I think the reason that is because I think the time that he wore that mask was right around the time I started my YouTube channel, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand. It's like, oh man, that feels like yesterday, and all these years later, we're finally getting that in this form. We've never seen that from Mattel, so to get it here, I think it looks sweet. I like the armband on the forearm. I know it's not removable, but it's still sweet. We're getting the Elite 116 head sculpt. We're getting the, flying through the air AJ head, and I think this is a good figure. I'm really, really looking forward to this AJ Styles. Actually, one of my favorite figures that we saw, and I know it's not a first time on the line. I know that it's not the most exciting thing you've ever seen. It's just a damn good looking representation of AJ Styles, and I'm here for it all day. So I'm really looking forward to this AJ Styles. Definitely one of my favorite figures coming out of Comic-Con that I did not expect. I mean, I expected an Ultimate Edition AJ at some point, but to be this good and, getting us the mask and stuff was really a great surprise for me. So I really do like this AJ Styles. Let's move on to another Ultimate Edition Greatest Hits, and it's going to be one of my favorite Ultimates from last year, and that is the Undertaker Legends Ultimate Edition that was exclusive to Target. They're re-releasing it here in Greatest Hits. Now, this is interesting because, last time we saw the Undertaker in Ultimate Edition form, his singlet was sculpted on. A great figure. I love that figure. I thought it was fantastic. We're getting it again here, but they have changed it slightly. So we're still getting those gloved hands that are great, getting the trench coat, which is great, getting the hat. The head sculpts here are phenomenal. But one thing they're doing here is they're giving us a cloth goods singlet sort of upper so that I think you can pull the straps down. And I do believe we are getting a shirtless Undertaker torso underneath here with his tattoos. I do believe. I'm pretty sure that is what we're getting here, which could call for a brand new torso. It does look like it could be a brand new torso from where I'm sitting right here. Of course, that we haven't seen it without the shirt to my knowledge. We haven't even seen a render, I don't think, of this particular figure, so we will have to wait upon that. But I think this is fantastic. This is another really damn good Ultimate Edition, and this is a great re-release, and I think this is fantastic. I also think that if you repainted, you could probably paint the extra beard onto a couple of these head sculpts and give him like the thicker beard. It'd be a really sweet figure as well. And I hope this one is more widely available because I think I only saw the Legends Ultimate Undertaker one time and I bought it and then we reviewed it and then I never saw it again. So would really like to have, a couple of these to fix up and play around with and do some different things on surgery. Very much looking forward to this Undertaker as well. I think this is a greatest hits. Like perfect greatest hits. One of the better, Ultimate Editions all time, I think, when you consider the Mattel Ultimate Edition line. But let's move on to the next figure, which is going to be Ultimate Edition Series 28. And this is going to be Uncle Howdy. Now, we know we're getting an Uncle Howdy in the Walmart Elite 3-pack of the Wyatt 6, and we don't really know I know what we're getting here, and it kind of, for whatever reason, it feels like it's lacking in the accessories department. You get the 3 interchangeable head sculpts, you get the top hat, you get the lantern, you get the interchangeable jacket arms, which I guess is, it suffices, and you're going to get wrestling gear and entrance gear. For some reason, it just feels like it's lacking a lot, but I think that this is going to be a pretty good figure. We're going to be able to see all the details here. I like the glove. I like the sculpts going on and everything, and sometimes I like when they give us cloth goods, and sometimes I like when they give us the interchangeable jacket because it gives you so much more articulation while maintaining a lot of that detail and sculpt, like the buckles and the wrinkles and everything like that. So I think that is great. I do like the head sculpts as well. I think they look pretty damn good. A lot of them are kind of similar to me. Like you have the wide open mouth and you have kind of the straight mouth and then the other mouth that's just barely open. But I think it looks pretty good for the most part. I think that, when we see the full gallery posted up, which should be relatively soon, maybe in a month or so, we should be able to see the full entire aspects of this. But I'm also noticing if you look at his arms, those look to be newly sculpted arms. Am I tripping? That looks to be like not the cut-up arms that Finn Balor and Seth Rollins have. That looks to be a little bit of a different arm mold. Now, you can let me know if I'm wrong there, but that looks pretty good to me. He also has the gauntlet on the right arm, so I'm expecting some cool things out of this. I think this could be one of the more underrated figures that we see this year, because this is definitely going to be one that we have in hand. We'll see where he lands in the top Ultimates of the year, but that is Uncle Howdy. Kind of a shock drop on us by ringside, Didn't expect him to be in the main Ultimate Edition line or even get an Ultimate of Uncle Howdy, but there he is, man. But this is a figure that I really want to get into, and we're talking about Tiffany Stratton here, man. This Tiffany Stratton figure is an interesting one because, first of all, it crushes her Elite 113. I think the head sculpts here are much better in my opinion. I really dig the green gear, and it looks like we're getting a lot of new sculpts here, and just bear with me here. I think the torso looks great. The upper, like her gear on her upper part looks really, really good. Again, she's coming with the Money in the Bank briefcase of the little side satchel there, which looks great. But if you zoom in on the waist of this figure, you'll notice that the waist is not like your typical Elite or Ultimate figure where you have just designated waist swivel. That lower torso is sitting down inside of the crotch piece, which is something I don't think we've ever seen from the Mattel line. This could be one of those new innovations here. You're getting a fully sculpted crotch, not a lot of just painted on detail. That is a sculpted crotch. You can see her navel piercing there, and then that torso is sitting down in there. So this could be the start of a brand new articulation inclusion into the Mattel line. So that has me excited. I'm excited to see where this figure goes and stuff like that. And I do believe, I was talking to Bill, and he was telling me that the legs on this one are going to be a little bit different than the others as well. So we'll just kind of see how all that pairs. But that lower ab crunch has me pretty excited to see where we go from here and all those different things. I'm excited for this Tiffany Stratton. I think we have a damn good women's figure right here, and I think that this is going to be a really good figure. I'm excited for this Tiffany Stratton, and I think this, again, blows her Elite 113 out of the water. So we'll have to see about it, and I really like the green metallic paint with the purple. Looks pretty sweet. But let's move on to Eddie Guerrero, who is the last figure in Ultimate Edition Series 28, and that is going to be Eddie Guerrero here. Now, a lot to say here. I think the gear is great. I think that the updated skin tone is great, but I will say I think they made him a little too small. Now, I know it's like, okay, you said they made the last one too big, and now you're saying that they're making this one too small. But I think you want like kind of a mixture of the two, I think that WCW Eddie, while he was, he's always had like pretty decent shoulders and arms in his entire career. I think back then he was a little bit smaller than what we were looking at with the Latino heat here when he was WWE champion in 2004. So I think that with this figure, around this time period, man, he was pretty jacked. Now, I don't think that he needed the Ultimate Warrior torso to insinuate that. I don't think really even the torso is going to be the big deal. I just think that his shoulders and arms are a bit too small for this era of Eddie Guerrero. And, if there's a possibility that we could possibly do, a shoulder or arm swap to fix it, then we'll definitely try to do so. We'll have to play that by ear, see what we can do. But I don't know. It's like we went from one world to the next where he was way too big and jacked and now he's too small. And you can let me know what you think of that down below. But I love the Latino heat shirt. I love the, the head sculpts and everything. It's kind of a repaint with a fixed skin tone and fixed torso, things like that. I'm still looking forward to the figure. This is a gear I've wanted for a very long time. Very excited to get any Eddie Guerreros from Mattel, but I just want to know what you guys think of that overall with Ultimate Edition Series 28 Eddie Guerrero. Let me know what you think of that overall with the torso change and everything. Do you think he's too small now? Do you think we should have just lived with the shreddy Guerrero, or do you think they needed a mixture of both? You can let me know down below. But let's move on to the next one, man. We have Dirty Dom, his son. And this looks like a fantastic figure, man. I know a lot of people are going to talk about his arms. This is the standard arm mold, okay? But I do like he has the smaller boots because it's much like Elite 118 Jacob Fatu. He has the Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes boots instead of the Elite, so he is going to get the smaller boots there, which I know we've seen them plug Ultimate Edition boots onto Elites before, like Roman Reigns and other characters. Anytime we're supposed to get those massive feet boots, why not just put the Ultimate ones on there just for shishes and gigs? If you can do so, why not just go ahead and put that? You already have it in the tooling bank. Go ahead and just replace those massive feet ones with the Ultimate Edition every single time you can, if that's possible, right? But I like this gear. The skeleton with the white and black is a very clean look. I love black and white gears. They're very simplistic, but they look great. I think the tongue-out head sculpt looks good. Now, these are hand-painted prototype head sculpts, so they don't look the greatest of all time, but I think you can see the vision. I think this is going to be really good, and I think since we really enjoyed the Elite 119 Dom, I think we're going to really like this one. I think this is going to be a great upgrade, added articulation, more, expressive head sculpts, things like that. I'm looking forward to the Dirty Dom. I think he looks pretty damn good. I'm excited for him. And then we also have a look at Umaga, who I think is also in Ultimate Edition Series 29, if I'm not mistaken, but this is one I'm very excited for, man. I love Umaga. I always thought he was dominant, and to have him in Ultimate Edition form, to have him included in the line is just a beast. Haven't seen one of his figures in a very long time. We got one way back in Elite 40. We got one in the Royal Rumble Elite line in the red, and now we're finally getting, I think these are the best Umaga head head sculpts, man. You have the screaming version, the tongue out. This just looks incredible. You have the added necklace. I'm excited for this one. And he doesn't come with the most accessories. I don't know if he's going to come with something else, maybe a t-shirt or something like that, which I don't think, he wasn't really known for a t-shirt or anything, but I don't know. Maybe they'll include something cool, and we'll see what comes of it. Maybe even a rib wrap would be kind of cool or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm still hyped for it nonetheless. I think this is a great inclusion. Very excited to have Umaga here. We need more Ruthless Aggression, man. All the Ruthless Aggression love I'm here for, but really excited for the Umaga as we talked about back when we got it, revealed to us in the prototype form here. And then we also have a look at Ultimate Edition Series 30. Now, I do believe that the Hulk Hogan we saw the day before or the day of preview night, I think it was early on preview night, that Steve Ozer took to his Instagram and he shared some, he knew that everything would not fit in the panel time, and I think he did a great job by doing this because we actually got to see everything. And he revealed this new Hulk Hogan here that looks like new technology. Now, of course, with the untimely passing of Hulk Hogan, I don't know the entire word on this. I'm sure Mattel's going to reveal it. His LJN did go up on Target just the other day for pre-order, and it sold out. And I think that figure is still going to be pushed to retail. So I think we're just going to have to see what the story is on this Hulk Hogan. Is it going to be pushed out with the rest of the Ultimate Editions? I imagine it will be. I don't think there's going to be any delays with this because it is, a little ways away. So I don't think we're going to run into any issues there, but in this Ultimate Edition set, you are getting this Hulk Hogan here. It comes with the yelling head sculpt. It's got this ripped shirt deal going on, and I don't know any information on this. I should have asked, but I completely forgot about this figure because they showed it on Instagram, and then they never showed it again. It wasn't included in the panel. There was different things like that, so I don't know if this is a rubber piece with attached hands. We've kind of seen that play out with Rey Mysterio's Fan Takeover Ultimate Edition that was attached to his mask. That was one of those. We saw the the Mega Powers 2-pack with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, how they had the the hands shaking hands together. Then in the top picks line, we're seeing the CM Punk and Roman Reigns hands that are hands shaking together. I'm wondering if these are interchangeable hands that have a plastic overthrow piece that goes over the shoulders, and you have him ripping the shirt to pose him with. I do not know how this technology works exactly. I'm just kind of going off of the render image here, and I apologize for not asking about that. I totally should have asked about this because it looks like a new innovation that we're seeing from Mattel here. So we'll see about that, but it is a very cool thing, It is a plain Jane, but you're also getting this new yelling head sculpt with the ripped mid shirt here and the bandana, the interchangeable hands. It looks like it's going to be an interesting one, so we'll have to play that one by ear, but I wish I had more information on this, exactly what this is going to look like, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a sculpted piece that you put over the figure to make it look like it's ripping, almost like a statue, and I do not think this is cloth goods, obviously, so hopefully we get an update on this one, but let's move on to the next figure, man, which is, oh my goodness, with everything that took place at Comic-Con, I did not mention this, but we finally have sternum tattoo Rhea Ripley, man. I mean, clap it up. Clap it up. This is a beautiful figure. Now, it would have been cool if we got one that didn't have all the makeup on, but I think this is such a great piece, and this is a figure that you could easily put other Rhea Ripley head sculpts on. Now, I might play around with repainting the head to get all the makeup off, just to have the longer hair look with, no makeup on, to buy a couple, one with the face paint on, then you fix it up, and then repaint it, do some different stuff, and then you'll have, a masked look. There's plenty of options here for us there, but finally getting all of her tattoos onto one figure is absolutely perfect. I didn't include this on my wish list, but I've talked about this on the channel many, many times about getting her sternum tattoo or a figure that had her full, sternum tattoo with no coverings or anything like that, and we finally have it here, so this is great. It's a great gear. It's great head sculpts. You got the mask. It is just a render, but this is perfect, and I do believe this is a part of Ultimate Edition Series 30 alongside the Hulk Hogan figure. This is great. Fantastic. I think this is terrific. Low-key, probably one of my favorite reveals that I didn't even get to really mention because it isn't a render, and they didn't have the renders in the booth, you know what I mean? So I didn't really get to touch on this until just now. So this is absolutely wonderful. And then we also have Seth Rollins to round out this set. Now, I do believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is this not Raw's debut on Netflix gear with the red and black? I think that's what this is. Now, it looks like they're not going to be going with his usual ripped-up torso that we saw in his last Ultimate Edition. It looks like they're going to be giving him kind of the Logan Paul Ultimate Edition torso, which I don't hate. Now, I will say, I'm pretty sure he had chest hair. I'm pretty sure he had stomach hair. And I hope that it includes the tattoo. I hope that it includes the chest hair if he did indeed have chest hair, which I'm pretty sure he did. But I don't know, man. I don't think that it was, I don't think that he's just so, he's not cut up enough to not include the same torso you gave him last time. I would really like to see the last torso on him again with the ripped up torso or the more cut torso over this one, but I don't think it's the biggest deal. I'm sure he'll come with a jacket of some kind and cloth goods, and, it looks like, again, we are getting the same head sculpts. I'd really like to see some new head sculpts for Seth. It seems like they've been pushing the same ones over and over, but anything's possible. I mean, this is an early render. Things could change here and there, but we'll have to see when that comes out, of course. And you may hear me say that quite a bit in this video, but it remains to be seen. There are things that we have to play the waiting game on, and that is one of those things here. But I do imagine he'll come with the coat from that Raw Netflix debut, which I'm pretty sure this is from that exact moment. So that's a pretty good set there, man. Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Hulk Hogan. I like that Ultimate Edition set. But let's move on to Ultimate Edition Series 31, and we are starting off with heel turn John Cena, man. Heel turn John Cena here. This is great. I'm pretty sure he's going to come with his shirt as well. And this is pretty damn badass, man. This is great. It comes with the heel turn, armbands and look. He has the smiling head sculpt. He has the heel turn face. He has a smug face. This is perfect for updated current day Cena. Not to mention, he's going to come with the towel and the hat. Not to mention, he also has his socks in there, his white kicks, which are inaccurate, by the way. I'm noticing he has high tops on. Pretty sure he wore low tops there. Maybe that'll be something we could switch out. Don't think he was wearing high tops, man. But this is still very cool. And if you notice, he comes with an interchangeable right hand that has Cody's watch on it to smack your Cody Rhodes in the face. That is a great little detail. And he also includes a brand new sculpted torso, man. So this figure has all the bells and whistles. This is beautiful. I love this. I think this is fantastic. Now, I will say I thought this would be a ringside exclusive. I thought this would be some sort of special edition because you could do a lot of fun things. Given how big that heel turn was, I just don't get why you wouldn't make that an exclusive, something to ringside, something that's really, really big. And, that reached so many people. That was such a big historic moment. I don't know how that's not fitting into a defining moment or some sort of exclusive wave, but who the hell cares? This looks great. This is fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to this, and I love the attention to detail with the head sculpts, the gear, the watch, fist accessory. Beautiful stuff. Great job by Mattel. Loving this. Definitely one of my favorite Ultimate Editions they showed off. Cannot wait to get this one in hand and review this. Should be a really fun one. And then we also have a look at Chelsea Green, which was teased, I think, was it at WrestleMania? I think it was back at WrestleMania at the Major Pod event. They did show kind of a grayed out render of her head sculpts, but you'll see here she comes with a smiling head sculpt. She has sort of a, her personality. It looks really good here with kind of that smirking, lips poked out face, and then you have the wide open, yelling kind of face. She comes with the gear with all of her faces on it, which is hilarious. And I think that, again, since we're seeing with Tiffany Stratton how that lower torso plugs into the crotch instead, kind of like an AEW figure, instead of just giving us traditional waist swivel, this could be another inclusion here with this women's figure. So I'm excited to see what this comes about. Of course, it is just a render. You can't really, judge it until we see maybe a prototype. You can judge it a little bit more freely. But on paper, this looks damn good. It looks a lot better in the head sculpt department than her last Elite, which I liked her last Elite. I just think this looks a lot better. I like this gear better. The head sculpts look very promising. I'm excited for Chelsea Green. Excited to get her in the Ultimate Edition line, and it looks like it's going to be damn good. So I'm all aboard this. Looking forward to what the rest of it looks like as we approach its final product or whatever the case is. But the last figure in Ultimate Edition Series 31 is going to be Randall Keith. Now, lots to unpack here with Randall Keith. I do love this gear. I think this is his return gear when he finally returned to television. And, it looks like to be, I'm hoping with this figure, my biggest want with this figure is a cloth goods hoodie, which the merch that he returned with this gear was sick as hell. I even shared it on my Twitter, I think, because I loved it so much. So hopefully this is going to come with a cloth goods hoodie representing this. Looks like the head sculpts are a bit I think I don't really like the mouth open head sculpt. I didn't like the mouth open head sculpt on his last Ultimate that we saw way back at WrestleMania 39. I think it was, in the Randy wave with the Macho Man that got canceled. But love this gear. I think this gear is much better than his last Ultimate as well. I need bigger shoulders and arms on this guy. It's still early in the progress, man. They need to just change the Ultimate shoulders and arms on this Randy Orton. We need beefier shoulders, beefier arms. We need the larger arms and shoulders on this Randy Orton, please. This is a modern day Randy Orton. Man's absolutely massive. I think you need to even change the legs possibly on this guy. He needs to be big. He needs to absolutely be big, but I'm excited for any Randy Orton. He's one of my favorites ever. I think that this is good on paper. Love the gear. This looks very promising for Randy Orton, so we'll see. But let's move on to the Monday Night Wars line, and I'm not going to take a look at Scott Steiner or Kurt Angle because we've already seen those pretty much ad nauseum. Now, I guess we did see we saw a render of Kurt Angle and we saw the grayed out prototype, and we did get to see a colored prototype of his figure, but we're going to move things on to DDP here, and this is one that we did not know about. So this is going to be, it's not quite the one that we were getting in the failed crowdfunder. I know that the gear is different, but it's very close. I mean, the formula, the head sculpts, they are giving us kind of an NWO version, but he's going to come with the goggles, he's going to come with the chain, he's going to come with the cloth vest, the NWO shirt, and everything, which should be good. I think DDP deserves an Ultimate Edition, but this isn't the look that I think people necessarily expected, but I think it still looks pretty good, man, and they're not giving him the Macho Man torso, which is pretty cool. It looks a lot more realistic for DDP, and I like it. I think this is pretty good. I'm excited to see where it goes here. I like the black hand tape. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm all for DDP figures, so this looks pretty good. I like the new head sculpt inclusion, so the goggles look good. I'm feeling this DDP. Not somebody I really expected in Ultimate form here. I really don't know who I expected, but this looks pretty good and promising, so we'll see. But let's move on to the Legends Ultimate. This is the next Legends Ultimate we have here, and it's going to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Another crazy pull. Didn't expect this. He comes with a slew of accessories. You're getting 4 interchangeable head sculpts. We're getting the crown. We're getting the USA flag. You're getting, I think, 2 different 2x4s. You're getting one with the USA paint with the saw, and then you're getting a plain one. You're getting interchangeable hands. You're getting a cloth goods shirt. There's a ton coming into this Legends Ultimate Edition Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and we have not seen a Hacksaw in a very long time, but very much looking forward to this, man. A very underrated guy, underrated figures indeed, and I think this is cool. Now, it would have been cool if they gave him the USA face paint for one of these head sculpts, but I'm not complaining. I think that this is still really good. I know we got that in a basic way back in the day. That would have been cool, and you could even put that basic head sculpt onto this figure if you wanted to, but I'm digging it, man. I like it. I like the kind of I like the thumbs up head sculpt or whatever, but I was more of meaning the tongue out head sculpt. But you're getting a lot of fun stuff here, and I'm looking forward to this. Now, it is a bit of a plain Jane Legends Ultimate, but that's kind of, I mean, what else do you expect, man? They packed this guy full of accessories as well, so I don't really think you can plain here. Who doesn't love a new addition into the Ultimate line? And I think this is, one of those legends that people want to see in Ultimate form, so I dig this a lot for Hacksaw. Let's move on to another one here with Bray Wyatt. Now, this one's interesting because, we did see this back at WrestleMania. It was just a grayed out prototype, and now we kind of see what we're seeing here. And apparently, this figure is going to have a new articulation in the neck. If you missed our interview with Steve Ozer just yesterday, I did post up an interview with him. And in this figure, I talked about ball hinges, and he said that this figure is going to include a disc joint in the neck. Now, I'm pretty sure that is the same on par or same verbiage as a ball hinge instead of the traditional ball joint that Mattel usually uses. So I'm excited to see what that inclusion entails. What is that going to see out of this figure? Is it going to be able to look down? Is it going to be able to look up? I know the hair will impede some of it, but you should be able to look all the way down if they're using it correctly, and maybe that'll be something that is implemented into the rest of the Ultimate Edition line moving forward, and then we can expect that on all the figures, and then we'll be able to pose our figures better. He'll be able to look down. You'll be able to tuck that neck and take those bumps, if you will, but in the render, I did not expect them to make him shirtless whatsoever, but I do love the gear they went with, and I like the head sculpts, and I like this figure overall. I think this looks pretty damn good. I can't really see what arms they're using. I hope they're using like the Fiend arms instead of just traditional skinny arms, but I can't tell based off of the render or anything here, but they did my man dirty here, just give him the shirtless look here with the upside down head sculpt and the lantern and everything. I thought it would potentially come with a chair, but coming with the cloth goods black shirt and then the Hawaiian shirt, I think this works better because then you don't have always the tucked in look, which I do like. But I'm excited for it. I think the boots look cool. It's Bray Wyatt, man. I think that, you're getting a bit of a throwback here, but this should be a damn good figure. Hopefully everything goes well with this one and everything is nice. So I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this one to test the new articulation. I think this is a nice inclusion into the Ultimate Edition line, but we're moving on to the next Legends Ultimate Edition here, which is going to be Halloween Havoc Rey Mysterio, which is another one I did not expect whatsoever. They're doing a lot of fun things here with this figure, man. You're getting so many cool things. We're getting the Cruiserweight Championship. You're getting the torn mask. You're getting a regular masked head sculpt. You're getting the removable pink mask there. Just so much going on with this figure, and not to mention he has newly tooled boots going on for this figure itself. And we have not seen this guy since Elite Series 67 which was so long ago now, and we're finally getting it here. And I like the new torso. He's going to have butterfly joints. He's got all the bells and whistles. Very fun figure, man. Very fun figure, and I love this because I think I fixed up my Elite 67, so now my definitive Halloween Havoc Rey will be this one, and I don't have to worry about ever replacing my Elite one because this can be the perfect Halloween Havoc Rey. Absolute money, man. Absolute money. I don't know how you can be upset with this one. Very just outside the box one that I just wouldn't have seen coming from Mattel, which I applaud. I like when they kind of give us ones that, you know, that we couldn't even expect to see, and then bam, they drop it on us. That's lovely, you know. I enjoy a leak here and there. You know, I'm all good on a leak there, you know, every now and again, but I love when I don't see it coming and then they just drop an absolute fire figure such as this one. So excited to see where Rey comes from here. And then we also have another one that we kind of expected, but to get him in Ultimate Edition form, not only one, but two Ultimate Editions. We have Jesse the Body Ventura, a guy we've been wanting for very, very long. A very long-awaited Jesse Ventura. Got the camo zebra stripe jacket deal. He's got the gold bandana or the headgear. He comes with the headphones. He's got 3 interchangeable head sculpts. He's got the jeans going on. Fantastic Ultimate Edition right here. And not one you traditionally expect right here, but he comes with the WWE microphone. Very fun figure here. And I think this is going to be Mattel Creations exclusive. I believe so. So we'll see there, but we have a kind of a digital render there. It looks good. These head sculpts look phenomenal. I think they did a really good job on the Jesse figure. Very much excited for it. And not to mention the boots, man. Those boots look incredible. And then we have the Coliseum Collection version of Jesse the Body Ventura. And my God, what a set. What a banger of a set. You have Jesse Ventura in his floral pattern with the pink and bright colors. Absolutely jacked to the gills. You get the interchangeable head sculpts. And then he's alongside King Kong Bundy, which, my lord, man, who the hell thought we'd see King Kong Bundy? Not me, bro. I'll tell you that. I didn't think this is one that I didn't think would ever show up. And we finally have a new King Kong Bundy, and he's going to be in ultimate form. I know that classic collectors, man, this is the kind of stuff you guys have been wanting for a long time. I know it. I just know it, and Mattel went above and beyond, and we're going to talk about it when we get into the Elites, but they showed off so many first time on the lines and so many characters that people have been wanting for so long. I don't know how you would feel that this isn't the best Comic-Con reveal. Not only just the quantity of figures they showed off, but the innovations included in the line, the new people they included in the line. I just do not know how you could not be happy or satisfied with what we saw. I mean, you can let me know if you felt differently. I'd love to know what your argument is or what you think down below. But getting King Kong Bundy and Jesse Ventura in the same pack in an Ultimate Edition is absurd. 4 brand new head sculpts here for King Kong Bundy, or I know just absurd. Just an absurd pack. I'm so looking for it. This, and I was talking to my buddy Justin from Wrestling Figure News, who's an absolute beast. Had a lot of fun with him out at Comic-Con. And we were trying to rank the Coliseum collections, and every time I would name one, I'd go, oh, but what about this one? Oh, but what about this one? I think this one could end up being the best one, and then I think of the other ones, and I'm like, oh, well, that Bam Bam set, or, oh, man, that first set, or that Ted DiBiase. So the Coliseum collection, man, you can say what you want. They may go on clearance in here and there, man, but damn, what a fantastic overall set for Jesse the Body Ventura and King Kong Bundy. And another new thing that Mattel's including here, man, we are getting Amazon exclusive WWE PLE or pay-per-view Ultimate Edition figures. Now, we're starting things off with this Royal Rumble Shawn Michaels, man. This was one of my favorite things that I saw because there is so much going on with the Shawn Michaels. Now, is the gear the most exciting? No. Have we pretty much seen this gear in Ultimate form? Kind of, but I don't really give a damn, Brad, because this figure looks so good in person. The zebra print on the vest and the chaps, you have the new kissing head sculpt, and not to mention the sculpted boots, man. And I think they mentioned something about wanting to remove the entrance gear on one of the days of the con, but they just never got around to it, or they were too busy, they forgot, whatever the case was, doesn't really matter. You can still see on the feet of the figure itself that they are sculpted on. We are finally getting the dirt bike boot mold or something closer to that than just the traditional kick pads that he never ever wore. So this is so huge for Shawn Michaels. Hopefully they can include this on his Elites as well, because this is huge. This is absolutely huge, and this is just one of those extra little check marks where it's like, I don't see how are you not excited for the future of this line because of the attention to detail that we've got gotten not only on the Shawn, but other figures as well, including more one-of-one sculpts, including these things that we've been wanting to see included into the line. This excites me very much with Shawn Michaels, and we'll just see how it goes. But then we also got a WrestleMania 40 Rock with the Mama Rhodes weight belt, man. He is coming with the Mama Rhodes weight belt. That is something that everybody has been wanting in the line. He's coming with 4 interchangeable head sculpts, and this is a 2-in-1. You're getting not only night 1's attire, you're also getting night 2, where, you know, the Undertaker took him out in those long white pants and everything like that. And this is the last thing I remember of The Rock. I don't remember any Cody Rhodes Soul Business or Raw's Netflix debut. This is where The Rock got chokeslammed to hell for me. But seriously, though, good-looking figure. We figured we'd see this, but this is going to be another Amazon exclusive WWE PLE Ultimate Edition figure here that comes after Shawn Michaels as this final boss Rock. But we did get to see that on display with the Shawn Michaels figure, so that's pretty good there. And then we also saw the ringside exclusive Dudley Boy figures, which is another great update, man. I love that they did these in blue instead of doing these in the traditional red that we've seen. I like the sculpted torso on Devon. Now, people were saying why they give him Brock Lesnar arms. I can see where that could be an issue, but they don't really look that bad necessarily. I don't hate it here. Now, do I think that's a great arm mold for them? No, I don't, but I think the head sculpts look good. The glasses seem to be retooled. We're getting the World Tag Titles. The shirt on Bubba Ray looks great. These look like excellent figures. I love the tongue-out head sculpt for Bubba. These look good, man. I think that they did a good job on these, and I'm excited that they went with the blue camo instead of, you know, the traditional red like I stated. I think it would have been cool to see the gray 3D shirt. I'd like to see the gray 3D shirt at some point by Mattel, but these were incredible. I think that they knocked these out of the park, and these are probably the best Dudleys that they've ever made in terms of any action figure ever. I think these Dudleys look absolutely impeccable. And then we are moving on to the CM Punk exclusive. Now, this is going to be a 2-in-1. This is a CM Punk Ultimate Edition that is going to come with Larry, and I think it is a ringside exclusive. So we can expect to see CM Punk with this Larry. I think people kind of missed that, or they were confused by it. But yeah, he is going to be, not only is Larry going to be coming in the line, but I think this figure is going to be paired with an Ultimate Edition CM Punk. It's not just Larry coming by himself, if people were confused by that. Yes, we are getting CM Punk to go along with this Larry, and I don't know what the gear is. I don't know what they're choosing for him, but I don't think it really matters. I think it should be a really damn good figure, and I think that overall the CM Punk will probably be very, very good. And, you know, this is going to be our second dog in the line, so we're adding another dog in there. And so I think maybe Animals is going to be the 2025 into 2026. That's going to be the kind of measuring stick moving forward. Maybe we'll see some more Animals or whatever the hell they're going to do next. But, man, what great Ultimate Editions. I don't think I missed any. You can let me know if I missed any. Again, I didn't go over ones that we pretty much have already seen in full galleries and really paid attention to or known about for a very long time. Now, if we got an update on a figure, then I put it in this video, but if not, I did not include it. So if I missed one, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. I'll get around to it, or maybe we can plug it in the Elites video. And by God, the Elites video, man. The Elite video covering them like this is going to, it's going to be 4 hours. I mean, my God, at the damn figures that they revealed, man. They revealed what? I think, to my knowledge, it was 24 or 25 Ultimate Editions were revealed. So, I mean, that is just absurd. Not just revealed, but there was more of that on display, more than 25 that were shown and displayed. But I think new ones that got updated or that we didn't previously know about were shown off. So, just so much, man. So much, and I'm sure later on, probably at Ringside Fest in October, I think is when Ringside Fest is, or sometime around there. I do believe that'll be the next time that we get any sort of update or big news like this. Now, we will see galleries before then, and we'll get updates on figures, but the next time we see more reveals instead of just updates on figures will be around that time, I'm pretty sure, man. But that is pretty much going to wrap up breaking down every WWE Ultimate Edition that was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con 2025. Again, we're going to do this for Elites. We're going to do this for AEW figures. We're going to break down the rest of what was talked about because I have so much to say about the Knuckle Crunchers, the Retros, the Superstars. There is so much to cover that I did not get to cover in person that I got to get around to, man. So we're going to break it all down here for you. So stay tuned, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. So this video is pushed out to as many as possible. I'd greatly appreciate that. But we have a lot of reviews to get to as well with the Ultimate Punk and the Shop AEW Okada, the Swerve San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. All of these videos coming very soon, man. But I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you guys so very much for watching. You guys are the absolute best. And a huge shout out to our Patreon members because we actually had a new sign up just the other day, but I was in San Diego, so I could not shout the man out, so I do apologize for that. But a huge shout out to my man. A huge shout out to my man, West Puckett, for signing up, man. I appreciate you, and your patron package is on the way, man, so I greatly appreciate you. But I'm getting the hell out, man. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.